cohorts are doing now. We started with cohort 1 up until cohort 2, cohort 3, and cohort 4. So it's been a very interactive one so far. And I want to believe that people that participated in yesterday's training too would have, gotten value from yesterday's class as well. Thank you so much for the opportunity, Mr. Seriba, and special thanks to the accountants or community as well for giving me this privilege again to come for cohort 4. And I look forward to more cohorts that we'll still be doing together. So before we go into it, I would like 1 or 2 people, preferably a lady and will I say a guy or a man, to just tell us what their expectation is for today's practical session on taxes. So who wants to take the lead? Just tell us what your expectation is, or what are your expectations from today's class. Just a male and a female will be fine by me. Anybody? We all need to participate, so it's not just me that will be doing the work. We really need to make it very interactive. So please, before we start, I would just like to know what our expectations are. Do I have anybody that wants to signify before we go into it? Or should I call on names, as I can see on my screen here? Anybody that wants to tell us his or her expectation?
Okay, hello. Good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah, good afternoon,
Good
Mr.
afternoon, Mr. Adebisi, Mr. Tem Umba. Okay. So although I missed yesterday's section, this is my first time attending the cohort program here. When it comes to taxation, something I do very well. Well, for me, I work in an NGO, and we do practical exercise on tax, and not that really much. But what's our area of concern is on this withholding, a little bit of VAT, then PE. For my expectation tonight, it will be directed at this withholding tax and using the TaxPro platform, because I discovered that most of the vendors we deal with, even after verifying their TIN number and is actually good and is correct, sometimes when I try to upload, you got to receive this feedback that not much. I got discovered that, okay, it's possibly they are not yet registered on TaxPro Max. And it will be somehow to still go back to the traditional way of remitting the withholding tax. I'm just talking about the withholding tax. Of course, I know most of us here have a lot of expectation, but this is just my area of concern. So I appreciate if more light can be shown on that withholding tax. Thank you very much, sir.
All right, thank you, Mr. Matthias, for that, for telling us what your expectations are from today's class. Can I have maybe a lady that can tell us our expectation as well, and then we can start.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, my expectation today is on TaxPro Max filing, and especially when it comes to VAT and navigating TaxPro Max system. That's my expectation. And
okay, so do you have any specific issues regarding VAT that you want to know more about?
I don't have any specific issue. I just want to learn. So I'm a chartered accountant and also a tax practitioner. So I perceive in the future I will be able to advise 1 or 2 clients. So I need to have that knowledge for me to be able to advise properly or file on behalf of those clients.
All right, thank you so much, Ms. Chioma and Mr. Matthias, for telling us your expectation. So it is our desire that at the end of this class, right, I will be able to like meet those expectations, and we all will be able to like get value, or I mean add more to our knowledge today at the end of this class. So let's just get started. So I will not really be doing more of presenting slide, although I have a slide, but it will be very brief because this is not a class for us to be divining VAT or divining withholding tax. Rather to go into practical session, right? I think I'm hearing myself. Don't know why.
Can hear you.
Hello? I'm getting echo from somebody. I don't know where that is coming from. Okay, so as I was saying, that it will be more of practical session today, just a bit of theoretical aspect, because I feel like most of us here already know what tax is all about. You won't be expecting me to be divining tax for you or and stuff. But nevertheless, we'll still cover some slides, but it will be very brief. So today's outline is gonna be to cut across value-added tax, how to file on tax remarks and how to remit on tax remarks. It will cut across withholding tax, how to file withholding taxes with the federal Inland Revenue Service, and then how to file withholding tax with the state internal revenue services as well. So that's the second outline that we have. And then the last one will be on companies' income tax. That is how to file CIT returns on tax formats and how to navigate tax formats generally for all of these taxes. And then for our focus on the state internal revenue services, we'll major more on with the LIRS platform, because I feel like that is, I mean, most of us are used to that, right? Even though we know that there's some of us on the call that are from other states, but I feel like it's still the same process, just that maybe the platform can be different and the mode of remittance, so let me say the system might be different. But the whole idea of taxes applicable to the state internal revenue service is the same all over the state in the federation. So let me quickly share my screen. Can you all see my screen? Just let me confirm if you all can see my screen.
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Okay, good. So let me start with the slide that I have. So I'll be starting with withholding tax. So I think Mr. Matthias, I would like you to pay more attention to this, because I mean you've laid more concern on this aspect, and I would like you to focus more here. So I'll be starting with withholding taxes and run us through a bit of theoretical aspect of it. I'll be very fast with this theoretical aspect so that we can dive into the practical session. So withholding tax management in Nigeria, we are looking at the preparation, the computation, and yeah, how to file as well. So my outline here surrounds what withholding tax is all about, state government withholding taxes, federal government withholding taxes, the importance, and then we delve into the practical session, and if we have question and answer, we try to like entertain that as well. So who can tell us what withholding tax is? Like I said, it's going to be an interactive one. Just, I mean, anybody that have an idea of what withholding tax is all about, just briefly tell us. You can unmute yourself and just say something, just in a simple sentence. What is withholding tax? Anybody? Why are we all quiet? Or is it that you cannot hear me?
Okay, let me still go again. This is Matthias.
Okay.
I'll be very simple. Withholding tax simply means taxes that are deducted at source. So, for instance, let me just give a very simple illustration, because it is what I do most of the time. When you do a business transaction with, let's say, a vendor as a company, and you are to pay that vendor a certain amount of money that is tax payable, or you should deduct tax from. Depending on the kind of nature of business anyway. For instance, let's use supply. A vendor supply you a particular item, and then you are supposed to remove like 5%. So where the withholding tax comes in now is that before you pay the total sum of the amount that is due to that vendor, you take out 5%. So you taking out that 5% is from the source income. You are paying that vendor a particular amount for him to receive an income from you. So before you receive that income from you, it will be the withholding tax will be removed. That is what I understand by paying at source or
All right,
source income.
thank you so much,
Yes.
Mr. Matthias, for your explanation. You've done, good explanation on what withholding tax is all about. Thank you so much for that, and I really appreciate your participation. So withholding tax is an advanced corporation tax on income deducted at source. So, like companies, when they make profits, they are liable to tax on companies' income tax. So, depending on the level of their annual turnover, for you to know the applicable rates that will be applicable to the company. So, withholding tax is a way of you paying your company's income tax in advance. That's the simple definition of withholding tax. It's an advanced form of you paying your CIT liability. Because the whole idea of withholding tax is that, okay, whatsoever you have been able to remit on behalf of your customers, on behalf of your client and stuff, will eventually serve as a credit for them to be able to utilize to reduce their company's income tax payable. For example, if you've been able to remit a total withholding tax of about 100,000 naira for a whole year for a particular company, right? And then that company now has 1 million naira CIT liability to pay for that particular year. So the fact that you have remitted 100,000 withholding tax for that same company, you can easily use that withholding tax of 100,000 to reduce the 1 million naira CIT liability of that particular company. So that's basically what withholding tax is all about. It's an advanced form of you paying your corporate tax in advance. So withholding tax can be categorized into two relevant tax authority. We have the state government and then we have the federal government. So now we'll be looking at state government first. So state government has to do with our state internal revenue services. That is Lagos State, Kwara State, Abuja, Oyo State, Ogun State, and so on. All states in Nigeria, they have their own internal revenue service. So the withholding tax applicable to them includes the one for individual, it includes the one for enterprise, it includes the one for partnership businesses. So any withholding taxes that has to do with this kind of group of business type, right? They are remitted to the state internal revenue services. And the deadline, as you can see, the due date for filing state internal revenue service withholding tax return is what? Is the 31st day of every succeeding month, right? That is, if, for example, we are in March now, March is a new month. So withholding taxes deducted for the month of February that relates to the state government has to be remitted on or before 31st of March. So that's basically what the state government withholding taxes is all about. you should know who it applies to. It applies to what? Individuals, enterprise, and what? Partnership businesses. Now, for the federal government now, federal government withholding tax has to do with withholding taxes that relates to the Federal Inland Revenue Service. We all know FIRS. So FIRS are in charge of collecting withholding taxes applicable to what? To companies, that is limited liability companies. So the FIRS are saddled with that responsibility to ensure that withholding taxes deducted from companies are remitted to the what? FIRS. So it will be wrong for you to deduct withholding tax for individual and now remit to the FIRS. That's very, very wrong. So you should ensure that your withholding taxes, when you're doing your computation, know the ones that are applicable to the state and know the one that's applicable to the federal government. So, like I said, the due date for the FIRS withholding tax return is what? Is the 21st day, is on or before the 21st day of what? Of the month following the month of transaction. Like I said, withholding taxes applicable to FIRS for the month of February must be remitted on or before 21st of March. So that's basically the distinction between withholding tax to federal government and then withholding tax to state government. So now we have withholding tax rates. We have different withholding tax rates based on the type of withholding tax, or let me say based on the nature of transactions at hand, which varies from 2.5% to 10%. So as you can see on the screen, we have withholding tax on dividend, interest, rent, director's fee, hire of equipment, royalties, commission, consultancy, management fee, construction, contract, and stuff. So you need to know all of these rates, the ones applicable for companies, the one applicable for individuals as well. So these are rates that we use in calculating withholding tax computation, knowing what to file, knowing at what rate are you charging your withholding tax and stuff, depending on the nature of the transaction between the payee and the payer. So, yeah, I think. So, and then we have importance of withholding tax to the business and then to the government. To the business is a form of tax compliance. To the business, it helps you to get your credit notes. To the business, it helps you to be able to like close out business deals and stuff. To the government, the most important one of this is it's a source of what? Revenue generation. And then for simplicity, to fight tax evasion, it brings everyone to the tax net and stuff. So these are simple things we all can have a read on our own later. So I think that's all on my slide on withholding tax. So now I would like us to go into the practical session. So, and I will be starting with the LIRS portal. Like I said, I'll be using LIRS as a case study for this practical session. So that, yep. So please, can you all see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I can.
Okay, good. Thank you. So this is how LIRS portal will look like. This is the dashboard. Once you log into the etax.lirs.net, you have a dashboard as you can see on the screen. And then all you need to do to file your withholding taxes applicable to the state government is you log into your eTax portal, and then you play on the menu option just at the left side of your screen, where you have your profile, assessment, objections, tax offices, payments, corporate returns, consultancy requests, how to guide, and logout. So to file your tax returns, you come to the payment side, right? Once you click on it, it has sub options again, which includes the generate/POB. We have payment history, we have make payment as well. So all we need to do is to click on the first one, which is towards generate and pay bill. So once you click on that, you have the option, as you can see on my screen. You have the page that as you can see on the screen. So So from here, you'll be able to like select agency, select revenue code, the amount, the period you're paying for, and stuff. So yesterday I had a class with another group of individuals, and I realized that this platform is having issues because I'm unable to like see the drop down of agencies available. I'm unable to like see the drop down of revenue codes. So I guess it's from the LIRS side. I think there's a glitch on their portal regarding this issue. So, but the whole idea is your agency code has to do with your tax offices. That's what agency code is all about. So you need to know the tax office of the company you want to file for, right? So let's say, for example, now your company's tax office is Ikoyi tax office or Lekki tax office. So you come through this select agency to pick whichever tax office your company is being domiciled. And then the revenue code has to do with the types of withholding tax you want to pay. Is it withholding tax on contracts? Is it withholding tax on consultancy? Is it withholding tax on dividends, on interest, on rent and stuff? You will see them when you click on the revenue site. So nothing is coming out, which I feel is an issue from the LIRS, system. So I don't know if this same issue occurred yesterday during the class of Mr. John Bernard, but I mean, that's, I've been experiencing these issues since yesterday, I don't know why. So for the period of payments, it should be, we are in March, that means we are filing for February, so it will be from February to February. So it could be, depending on the period you want to pay for. So I am normally, you are supposed to download a schedule that you will populate and upload to get the actual amount of withholding tax payable. So, but the system is not bringing that up now. I don't know why. I don't know, like I said before, it's a mess up from the whole system. I don't know what's going on. But I have a sample of the schedule, how the schedule will look like and what you need to upload on your schedule. Let me quickly look for that for you. So the schedule will look like this. It will have your taxpayer number, amount, and the name. So you need to ensure that you have the payer tax ID of whosoever you are remitting withholding taxes on behalf. So you put the person's tax ID, the amount of withholding tax, and then the name of the person, so that the person will be able to like benefit from the withholding tax credits note. It could be an individual, it could be an enterprise, it could be partnership business, whichever it is. Ensure that you put the respective tax ID and ensure that your tax ID aligns with the name of the beneficiary. So that's how the schedule will look like, as you can see. So once you upload it, there's an icon here where you need to upload the schedule, but I don't know why it's not showing it. So I don't know. Which I guess is, like I said, is an issue from the LIRS portal. So, but once you're able to like upload, it will automatically know the total amount of tax payable. Then you now click on generate bill. So once you click on generate bill, Matthias, do you want to say something? Your hand is up.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. I was going to say, since this LIRS is not working, can we use like for the general one, the FIRS, the TaxPro Max?
We are going to that side as well, but we need to know this one. We are going to FIRS shortly after this.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So once you are able to upload your schedule, you click on generate bill. Once you click on generate bill, it will take you to where you can make your payments. So you can either choose to pay online, or you pay by downloading your bill reference and take it to the bank to make payments at the bank. Either of the two options is fine, provided that you are cool with it. I mean, for me, for somebody like me, I don't like going to the bank. I hate visiting bank for anything because I know the kind of stress it can come. So I just prefer to pay online, and then I get my receipts immediately. So that's basically how to file and remit withholding taxes with this LIRS. So now I'm moving to the FIRS now. So for FIRS, like I said, they use TaxPro Max. I believe you should know what TaxPro Max is all about. So that's the platform in which we use to file and remit taxes relating to the federal government. And the portal is taxpromax.firs.gov.ng. So once you click on once you put that on your browser, you log in. So once you log in, you see, as you can see on my screen, you put your login details, your password, and then you click on login. So once you log in, you have the dashboard, as you can see on my screen, where you have your taxes due, concluded assessment, tax wallets, ledger balance, additional assessment, taxpayer details, group taxes, credit report, process TCC, assets manager, info board, and audit investigation report. So all of these menu option, they have what they represent. Taxes due is where you would see the taxes you are owing. Maybe you've not filed your taxes and you are still having pending assessments, pending tax to file. It will appear here under your taxes due. Concluded assessment is where you would have taxes you have filed already. It will appear under your concluded assessment. Your tax wallet it shows how much you have. For example, let's say you want to pay your tax audit assessment in installments. You can choose to pay parts, and the remaining balance that will be left will be appearing under your tax wallet. So your ledger balance has to do with more like your account balance. That is, for example, if you have taxes due of 100,000 and you only filed and you're yet to make the payment, once you file, it will come to concluded assessment. But because you are yet to make that payment, that 100,000 balance that you're yet to pay will be appearing on your ledger balance. And then additional assessment has to do with additional assessments raised by the FIRS as a result of maybe tax audit, tax review, and stuff. Taxpayer details has to do with information of the company, where you get to know more about the company's details, when they comment business, their date of incorporation, stuff, and so on. Please, can you mute yourself, that person? Thank you.
Very relieved that the ball has been held at W and released the spell. And here comes City now, Rodri. To find it.
So for group taxes, this is where withholding tax filing, withholding VAT and stuff, stamp duty, this is where you file them. We call them group taxes because it has to do with group of beneficiaries. You are not filing for one person, you are filing for a lot of beneficiaries. That's why it's being regarded as group taxes. Unlike before, you know the way VAT was before, you file, you don't need to upload any schedule, not until recently when they upgraded it, VAT filing process, that now we now have to like upload schedule and stuff. So I feel like VAT now would also fall under this category of group taxes because it has to do with a lot of beneficiary as well, because we now have to upload schedule on the way it was before, that we just put the revenue figure and then file our VAT, and that's all. So our major focus for today for withholding tax will be from this angle of group taxes. Your credit report, this is where you have your credit note details. If you have withholding tax credit note and stuff, it will appear here. If you have capital allowance, to utilize. It will appear under your credit report. And then your process TCC, this is how to, like, if you want to get your TCC for your company, you click on this angle and it will link you to your e-service portal for your TCC. Asset manager has to do with, let's say you want to dispose an asset or you want to know the assets details of the company, just click on the asset manager. It will show you overview of the company's assets, if they've done any disposal and stuff. Everything will appear under your asset manager. And then your info board has to do with this. If FIRS wants to communicate with you or they want to request for any information from you, they would rather communicate using this info board. So it's a way of you, getting notification from FIRS. Maybe if they want you to maybe upload your bank statement or upload your invoice or upload your AFS, they can communicate to you via this info board. And then this audit and investigation record, this is where your audit matters, tax audit matters will be recorded. So that's basically, I've been able to like summarize the dashboard for you. So, but our focus, like I said, is on group taxes. And group taxes, this is where you file your withholding tax returns, stamp duty, withholding VAT and stuff. So, but our focus is on withholding tax. You click on withholding tax, and then for you to file, you have to, upload a schedule, right? But before then, you have to pick your currency type and then the withholding tax type. So the withholding tax type is in two categories. The first one has to do with withholding tax relating to dividend and interest. So other than this, you click on what? Others. That is, if your withholding tax does not have to do with withholding tax on dividend or interest, you then click on what? On others. It's very, very important. And like I said, you also have to like upload a schedule. So this was what I was expecting the LIRS portal to show me the other time, but I don't know what's wrong with the portal. So, but before you can upload something, you need to know the templates. So you can just download the templates here. Once I click on downloads, it will download it for me. And then I can easily open it. Am I still communicating? Can somebody just confirm that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And you can still see my screen very well.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
Yes, you can see your screen.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. So this is the FIRS template for withholding tax schedule. Over the years, people, or let me say accountants, professionals, they used to have issues uploading this schedule. I don't know why, but a lot of people used to reach out to me that your please help me, or my withholding tax schedule is not uploading, I'm just getting error and stuff all the time. So I'll be explaining what can cause an error when you want to upload your withholding tax schedule to you now. And once you're able to like follow the principle I want to mention now, I can promise you that you won't have any error at the end of the day, and your withholding tax schedule will be uploaded successfully. So let me start. I'll be picking it one after the other, from the beneficiary name, beneficiary thing, up to the schedule reference. So for your beneficiary name, this has to do with the names of your beneficiaries. That is, who are the people you are filing withholding tax for? Who are the companies? Who are the vendors you want to file their withholding tax on behalf? So that's what your beneficiary names is all about. So you have to list them here. And then we have beneficiaries team. That is the team of all those companies. Ensure that your team aligns with the company. Don't put KPMG's team for PwC. It's more like you're dashing PwC money, right? To ensure that your team aligns to the name of the company. This is very, very important, so that the company will be able to like claim the credit notes you're filing on behalf of them. And then transaction dates. I feel like most people have issues here, simply because number one, they don't follow formats, and then number two, they don't know calendar. So number one, they don't follow format. Reason being that looking at the format of the date on the schedule template, you would see that the first one comes with what? Your day / the month / the year. So why should you now do your own otherwise by starting with the year, the day, and the month? So if, for example, you are starting with 2023/09, which is the month, /30, it means you can even see that the system has automatically corrected it for me. So, but if you are doing it otherwise, it will not go through. You will encounter error. So ensure that you follow the exact format given to you for the date on the schedule, because the first one is the day, next is the month, and the last one is the year. Also, if you are writing your date and you are not using slash, you are using, let's say you are using dash 09-2020-2018, then there's a problem. It will not go. You can, if you notice, the system is automatically correcting it for me, because like initially I was not following the format. But once I click on enter, the system automatically corrects the format for me to ensure that it aligns with the template format. So ensure that you follow the format to avoid any issues. Another mistake I know that people normally make is this. We all know that, that's why I said people don't know calendar. You all know that 30 days is what we have in April. So if you're now using 31st of 04/2018 in your own April calendar, then the schedule will not go through, because April is not up to 31 days. Please, am I communicating? So ensure that your date aligns to calendar. For example, now, February is either 28 days or 29 days, depending on whether you are in the leap year or not. So if you are now saying your own February, your own calendar is 30 days, 30/02/2018, then you have issues. The schedule will not upload, because February is not up to 30 days, so it can never upload. So, I mean, these are common mistakes I've seen that people always make when they are trying to like upload their schedule, and then it is giving them error. So it's very, very important for us to take note of this. And then for my transaction description, what I do mostly is I use service rendered for everything. So I just copy and paste it straight down for everything. So that's what I do. And then your transaction amount has to do with the contract amount. What are you charging your withholding tax rate on? That is your transaction amount. So you populate them here. And your withholding tax rate, it could either be 5%, it could be 10%, and stuff. So depending on the applicable rate, you populate it here. Also, for your transaction amount, ensure that you are copying and pasting value. Never should you copy and paste formula, because this template does not accept formula at all. So once it recognizes any formula in the old template, the system will categorize it as what? As an error. So ensure that you are pasting value. If, let's say, for example, you want to copy this, you want to copy the amount from maybe your computation and paste it here, ensure that you are pasting value and you're not pasting formula. This is very, very important. Also, ensure that your transaction amount has no thousands separation. What do I mean by that? Like, you know, the way this one is now, there's no comma or something separating it. So ensure it does not look like this. Ensure your own transaction amount does not look like this, because this one is having commas that is separating the thousand. Ensure it's not like this. Just follow the way it is in the format without any separation of thousands or anything. So, and then the tax type is always withholding tax. All you just need to do is just copy it and paste it all through your schedule. And then your tax amount will be the tax payable. So ensure that your tax amount too, you are not pasting formula, you are only pasting value. Ensure that there's no thousand separation with any comma. Ensure that the way it is, that is how you should allow it to look as well for all your tax amounts. And then your schedule reference, most times I just put 0 there. So once I put 0, I just copy it and paste it all through. So that's what I do for my withholding tax schedule for FIRS. And then once I'm done, what I do is I copy it. Let's assume I'm done with this whole schedule. And always ensure that this Benson Services Limited came with the template. So ensure that you remove it. Don't go and dash FIRS money. Ensure that you remove it or you delete it. So once you do that, you can now copy it. I try to copy it because I don't want to upload the same template on my FIRS portal. So I try to copy it and paste it in a new Excel workbook. So once I do that, I can save it as whatever it is I want to save it as on my laptop or on my folder, whatever it is. Then once I'm done with that, I now go back to the portal, choose the file, wherever it is I saved it to, and then upload it. So once I upload it, it will take me to the next page where I can pay online or download my DIN and take it to the bank to make payments. So, I mean, from this stage, the next stage is, I mean, quite straightforward for you to make your payments. You can pay online using Remitter, InterSwitch, and other payment modes or platform that we have on the FIRS portal. Or you choose to download your DIN and take it to the bank and make your payment. So is that well understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So I mean that's basically
If
it
you
on.
can throw more light more on it, please.
Sorry?
If you can help us explain more.
So which area do you
On
want
the
me to explain more
template.
on? Because I feel like this is well explained. But if you have any specific area you want me to explain, just let me know now so I can repeat that part.
Okay. The rates, sir.
So like I said
Hello?
on my slide,
Yes, sir.
you would see the different rates applicable. So we have different rates for companies, we have different rates for individuals, right? So if, for example, your total tax has to do with director's fee, and your director's fee will be relating to individuals, that is director of a company, so it's always 10%. If it has to do with consultancy, maybe for example, your company consultant is PwC or KPMG, so you are meant to deduct 5% consultancy, withholding tax on consultancy from them because they fall under what partnership business, so which is 5%, right? So if it is, for example, now maybe your consultancy company is a limited liability company, right? So it will be what 10%. So you need to know the type of business your beneficiary is. Are they enterprise? Are they partnership business? Are they individual? Are they companies? So that will give you a guide as for you to know the applicable rate that is applicable to them, and also the type of withholding tax payment that is applicable to them. And this is dependent on the nature of transaction that they are doing for you. For example, now if it's KPMG now, you know that okay, KPMG, they will most likely just be your consultant. So that will be what withholding tax on consultancy. So if it is that maybe a company, they do supply you with maybe data every month or some equipment every month, right? And you want to withhold tax from them, so that we can liken that to be what withholding tax on contract. So and that will be what 5% withholding tax rate. So it depends on the nature of transaction between the payer and the payee for you to know the required rate that is applicable. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
okay, good. So, and if you need, if you still need more clarification, you can always watch the recording just for you to understand all I've said before, and you can look through it again and again. So
Okay, sir.
that's that on withholding tax. So now I would like to move to value-added tax now. I promise not to take too much of our time so that we can entertain questions. So now for this company, for their VAT, you click on taxes due. You know, like I explained before, taxes due, this is where your VAT and stuff will appear, your taxes that you want to pay, if it is VAT, if it is CIT, it will all appear under your taxes due. And then for your VAT, now for this company now, they've not filed for January and they've not filed for February, although February is not yet due, but the one of January is already due. So let me just click on that for January. So once you click on it, you have the below line items, which is the sales schedule, the purchases, the sales adjustments, the VAT returns form. So now let's pick it one after the other and I will explain what they all mean to you. So sales schedule has to do with what you want to actually file, what sales did you make within the month, and who are the beneficiaries? Are they VATable? Are they VAT exempted? Are they zero rated? All of this information, you have to populate it on that schedule, right? So once you click on, you can download the sample template for you to know what it means. So once I click on download sample template, it will download the templates for me. So this is how the sample template for the sales schedule for VAT will look like, right? So we have the beneficiary's name. I believe you should all know what that means. Then beneficiary's team, the items, the item cost, item description, and the VAT status. Beneficiary names includes the name of your beneficiaries, the beneficiaries team, their respective TIN, and then this item has to do with what the sales is all about. What did you sell? Is it you sold bag? Did you sell Dangote cement? Did you sell diapers? What did you sell? That's what the item is all about. If it is not goods, it could be service. So you can post maybe consultancy or service rendered or something, put it there. What is the cost of the item? So mind you, this cost of the item must be the contract amount. It must not include VAT. Because if you are including VAT, it means you want to overpay FRS. You want to pay FRS more money. So ensure that your cost item does not include VAT in it. So it will be your contract amount without VAT inclusive. And then your item description, if you want to describe more about the items that you sold, is it baby diaper? Is it adult diaper? Is it school bag? Is it traveling bag? Is it bata shoe? What kind of shoe? Is it shoe? Is it heels? Is it stuff like that? This is just for you to be able to describe the item further, right? That's what it basically means. And then your VAT status has to do with knowing if the items you have listed, are they VATable? Are they zero rated? Are they VAT exempt? So for zero represents VATable items, while 1 represents zero rated items, while 2 represents VAT exempt items. So depending on your transaction, we should know what is VATable from what is not VATable. You should know what is exempted from VAT and what is not exempted from VAT. So depending on what they are on your schedule, ensure that your VAT status aligns to each and every one of them respectively. So once you have been able to like populate your schedule, like I said before, I always try to like copy it and paste it on a new Excel workbook like I did before, because I don't like to upload the template I downloaded from the system. So once you do that and save it on your laptop, you come back to your TaxPro Max, then you choose the file. So let me try to like save this one. I'll just reset it back so that everybody can understand. Copy. So I'm pasting it on the new Excel workbook. I'll just save it for just, I'm not submitting it, it's just for sample. Because the sample, yeah. So I'll just come here, I'll go and choose the file I just saved now, VAT sample. Then I'll upload. So I've uploaded it now. So based on, what's it called? Based on the numbers I put on my VAT status, the system has been able to like capture the VATable ones. It has been able to like capture the zero rated ones, and has been able to like capture the VAT exempt ones, right? So then I'll click on my Naira sign. Then I'll click on proceed. Once I click on proceed, it will take me to the next line item, which is the purchases. So the purchases has to do with input VAT. Like I said, we have two types of VAT. We have the output VAT, we have the input VAT. So output VAT has to do with anything that relates to what sales. Input VAT has to do with anything that relates to what purchases. For example, now, if your company is producing bread, and you know that the raw materials you will need to produce your bread includes flour, and butter, sugar, and stuff. So if you want to go and buy your raw materials, which is flour now in the market, let's now assume that you are paying VAT on that flour. That VAT you are paying on the flour is what is input VAT. So you can easily use your, once you pay that particular supplier your VAT on that flour that you bought from them, and they remit it on your behalf, putting your company's PIN while they are doing their own filing and remittance. Whatever it is that they remit on your behalf, because you purchase flour from them and pay them VAT, it will appear under your purchase record. So if it appears here, you can easily click on it and claim the input VAT on that particular flour that you bought. So far it relates to the sales you're making, which is, the whole idea is that you're selling bread. Do you understand? So once you do that, you click on proceed. But for these ones now, they don't have any input VAT claimable there. So I just click on proceed. And then it will take us to the next line item, which is what sales adjustment. Sales adjustment has to do with, let's say in January, for example, I remitted some VAT, and unfortunately, one of the vendors or one of the beneficiaries I remitted VAT for now returned what I sold to them back to me. Mind you, I've already remitted the VAT because I made it and I've already remitted the VAT. But because that particular customer returned the goods back to me, so if I want to claim back that VAT I've already paid on their behalf, knowing fully well that the customer has returned the goods back to me, I can do that under my sales adjustment. That is basically what sales adjustment is all about. So all I will just need to do is that the item ID, I will just put it here. Once I put it here, I will search for it. So it will help me identify that item. So based on what we uploaded earlier on, each and every beneficiary will have an item ID. So once you put the item ID here, you can search for it and claim back the VAT you've remitted on the sales returns that occurred in your business. So, but for this one, we don't have anything to adjust for. So I'll just click on proceed. So once I click on proceed to the VAT form, so this is the VAT form. So the system will automatically capture the VATable income, the one that is not VATable, which is exempted, will go to the exempted side. The one that is zero rated will go to zero rated side and stuff. Let's say we have any sales adjustment, it will appear in our line for line. Please, are we together?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir, we are together.
Okay, good. Please, am I flowing? Am I making any sense at all so far? Or am I too fast? Or
Making sense.
Yes, you're making sense.
okay, good. Thank you. So your sales adjustments will appear here if you have any sales adjustment on line 40 and stuff. And if you have any input VAT you want to claim manually, you can put it here to claim it manually. Under your purchases, not only using the making, under this line 80, you can put it here and claim it manually. So, I mean, that's how to file your VAT. And then you click on your declaration and then submit. I can't click on submit because this is testing microphone. I can't file what the company is not ready to pay. And this is just a sample for us to like understand what, how to file VAT and stuff. So I'll just go back and reset the entire stuff. Reset. So once I reset it, it has cleared all what I've inputted before. So that's basically it on VAT. Any questions so far on VAT? So if you want to file with let's say you want to file, let's say your company, they've not met the threshold and you just want to file new VAT returns, that's the simplest thing to do in this life. All you just need to do is to click on process, say schedule, put your Naira sign, click on proceed because you don't have anything to file. You're filing 0. So you don't have anything to upload, just click on proceed. Once you click on proceed, everything proceeds, everything proceed. And then you click on your declaration and then you submit because you are filing 0. So it is only when you have, when you make sales and you've surpassed the threshold, that's when you now have to upload a schedule and stuff like that. So that's it on VAT. So now let's move to any question on VAT before we move.
Sorry, please, before you move on, please, that part that you said at the last part that you said how to claim your VAT input manually.
Yeah.
Can I see that line, please?
Okay, let me take it there. So that's line 80. Purchases not only used in making VATable supply. Line 80. You can claim it from here.
Okay.
Line 80. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So are we good on VAT? Because I want to believe we've covered VAT, we've covered withholding tax aspect as well. And then we are moving to the last part of the whole practical session now. Okay, so sorry?
Good evening. I wanted to ask a question.
This is not time for question. I mean, we still have time for question after, except you just want me to quickly clarify something before I move to CIT.
Yeah,
but
I
not
need
like
a clarification on
question
something.
Okay.
I need a clarification on something. You were saying initially that the zero rated tax is, I didn't get the grouping you said. Is it 0 or 1? Then VATable.
So VATable is 0.
Okay.
Tax exempt is 1. And then 0 rated is 2.
Okay, thank you.
You also see it on the schedule. Whatever schedule it is that you download, it will be there. Can you see it here? It is highlighted in red. Oh, sorry. VATable is 0. 0 rated is 1. And VAT exempt is 2. You can see it highlighted in red here. It's always been your schedule. So VATable is 0. 0 rated is 1. And VAT exempt is 2. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So now let's move to CIT. So for this CIT, because I don't have any AFS, I don't have any fixed asset register, I don't have any CIT computation, but I'll just try to like explain it very well to us so that we can get it. Because it will be very, very good and easy. Let's say I actually want to do the filing in the real sense, where I have the AFS of the client, I have the fixed asset register of the client, I have I've done my computation and stuff. It will be very easy. So, but the whole idea of CIT is that you want to declare your income for the whole year after adjusting all relevant adjustment that needs to be made, adding back your non-taxable stuff, and you've gotten your assessable profits, you've done your capital allowance utilization, you've known the taxable profits, and then you know what you're applying your CIT rate on. That's what CIT is all about, right? And then once you want to file your CIT after completing your computation, you have, this is how you file. You start from the revenue side of it, move to the non-current assets, move to the current assets, cost of sales, other income, operating expenses, current liabilities, long-term liabilities, ownership, capital structure, reserve, profit adjustment, balancing adjustment, loss relief, capital allowance, and then that's it. So you start from what? Your revenue side. So now under your revenue side, this is where you wait, let me see if I can use another company's information. Just a second. I'm trying to look for one I can use that will be easy for me to like explain better. But fortunately, I'm not seeing it anymore. This one. I mean, let me just use anyone of, let me just use it that way. We would know how to. So for your revenue, all you need to do here is to put your revenue figure the way it is on your audited financial statement, you paste it here, right? And then you click on proceed. Let's put 0. So once you put that, then it will take you to the next item, which is what? Non-current assets. Non-current asset has to do with the additions made in the course of the year. All right. That is, did you buy any assets? Did the company buy any assets in the course of the year? So all of those additions, you have to fill those informations here. So this is where you have the list of items that they bought, details of list of items that they bought in the course of the year. Is it tangible assets? Is it intangible assets? Everything. So let's assume it is tangible assets. You click on tangible assets. What category of assets is it? Is it building? Is it is it furniture and fittings? Is it stuff like that? So let me click furniture and fittings. So if I want to explain further what it is, I'll just say furniture and fittings. When did they acquire the assets? They bought it in 1st of January 2023. I'll put that here. And the cost is, let's say 0. Whatever cost it is, just put it there. And then you click on add record. All right. So once you click on add record, the system will capture it. Let me just put add record. The system will capture it. Oh, sorry. And the rates. So the rate here has to do with the rate applicable for the capital allowance rate. Mind you, in tax, we don't use depreciation in tax. So in lieu of depreciation, we use capital allowance. So what's the capital allowance rate for furniture and fittings? So I think that would be 2520, if I'm not mistaken, but we can always confirm. Capital allowance rates. Capital allowance. So you can always use PwC data information to get this, but I'm sure it will be 2520 for furniture and fittings. Furniture and fittings is 2520. So which means that we are using 20 because 20 is the annual allowance rate. Then you click on add record. Once you click on add record, once you are done with that, you need to impute your what? Depreciation value. Mind you, all of these costs of the assets you acquired, it will be in your AFS. So not like you'll be assuming any figure for it. They are all on your AFS. So you have the information on your AFS is what you are populating on TaxPro Max, right? And then you have your depreciation figure too. Everything is on your AFS. So let's say your depreciation figure, let's just assume 500 as depreciation figure, and then I will add it. So automatically the system will calculate the carrying amount for me, which is the net book value here, and which is 15, and then you are good to go. You click on proceed. So if you have more assets that was acquired in the course of the year, you continue to add more and more and more. But let's just assume that that's all. You click on proceed, and then you have your percentage post depreciation. So this what this one is telling us is that your depreciation figure in your AFS, how do you recognize it? Do you recognize it as 100% operating expenses, or do you recognize it as 50-50? That is 50 in cost of sales and 50 in operating expenses. Depending on how it is on your AFS, that will guide you as to the percentage rate to use, the proportion of the percentage rate to use here. But most companies will always recognize depreciation under operating expenses. So let's assume that as well here. So I'll put 0% for cost of sales and 100% for operating expenses. I'll click on proceed. Then here it will take me to your current asset information, where we have, what current asset is now. It's under your statement of financial position. So the way it is there, just populate it there here with the respective amount. So Any current asset that you feel like is not on these line items here, you can always click on orders to type whatever current asset it is, and you click on, put the amount as well, and you click on proceed. So here you have cost of sales. If you have any cost of sales too in your AFS, just ensure that you put it here as well. If any of these line items are not there, you can put it under what's other direct cost, if any. Then you put the amount under the what finished goods side, and then you click on proceed. Then we have other income. Other income has to do with other income aside from revenue of the company. So if any of these line items are happens to be your other income in your AFS as well, you just put the respective amounts there, and then you click on add records before proceeding. And anyone that is not there, you can use others, if any, to populate it into your work. And then you click on proceed. So here we have operating expenses. So operating expenses has to do with all the expenses incurred in the business. Everything as well will be in your AFS. It could be finance costs, it could be admin expenses, it could be sales and distribution expenses and stuff. Everything, just ensure that you populate it under your operating expenses side. Most times I don't put anything here. I'll just go to the last part of it where I can easily populate my, oh, sorry. Yeah. Let me go back. So here you can easily populate your operating expenses and stuff, depending on whatsoever nomenclature it is on your AFS. Put it, add record, and proceed. So the system automatically calculates the depreciation for you based on the addition that was made in the year. If you recall the assets that was acquired as additions in the first part that we did, where I said we acquired 2,000 assets, furniture and fittings, and I used 500 as depreciation. That 500, the system has already captured it here. So which means that when you are trying to like populate your operating expenses from your AFS, ensure that you're not populating depreciation again, because this depreciation already would have been in the AFS. And ensure that you don't type it in again, because that will be double counting, because the system will automatically count the depreciation you have put in your additions and bring it to your operating expenses. So if you are now adding it again from your operating expenses figure, it means you are double counting the depreciation part of it. Then you click on proceed. So then you have your current liabilities. So your current liabilities has to do with current liabilities. Does that make any sense? Yeah, well, it has to do with current liability, that is payables, bank overdraft, and stuff like that. So anyone that you feel like is not on these line items, you can click on orders and type it in and put the respective amount. Then you click on proceed. Just ensure that this is very, very simple and straightforward. All the things you are putting here are already on your AFS, right? It's not like you are cracking it from your head, or you are thinking, you are guessing this stuff. They are already on your AFS. So you just need to copy and paste, that's all. So also your long-term liabilities, anyone that you have on the list, put it with the amount. Anyone that is not there, you click on orders and put it in the amount as well. And then you click on proceed. So yeah, this is where you have your ownership side of the business. There's no company that will exist without having share capital. I don't think it's possible. For you to be a company, you need to have share capital and stuff. So you need to put that information to here. So let's just assume, let me assume 1 million, add record. Then you do for issued and fully paid, which will be the same amount as well, add record. And then you click on proceed. So if you have any reserve will fall under this place. Reserve could be retained earnings, share premium, Other reserve generally, you put them here with their respective amount and you add record before proceeding. And yeah, this is where profit adjustments will happen. So profit adjustment has to do with adjusting back, because there are some disallowable expenses and there are some non-taxable income that would have been deducted from the accounting side of the work. Because if you are preparing your AFS, you are following the accounting rules, guidelines, IASs, IFRSs, and stuff. So, and according in tax, there are some things that are not taxable, there are some things that are not allowed. So you need to adjust for them. Example is what? Depreciation. Because depreciation would have been deducted from your profit and loss account, or what's it called now? Statement of profit and loss account. And then so you need to, since it has been deducted there, you need to add it back to adjust for it. So amortization, if you have entertainment too in tax is not allowed, you need to add it back. If you have donation, general donation, so in taxation, anything that is general that is not specific, they are not allowed, right? So it is only if it is specific. Let's say the donation is specific to a specific, maybe you're donating, your company is donating to a specific NGO, for example, and it's been specified, that one can be allowed. But if it's just general, just donation without, okay, donation for what? For who? We don't know. So in tax, that kind of thing, you have to add it back because it is not allowed. And a lot of, just need to know allowable expenses, taxable income, and non-taxable income. So once you do that, the system automatically will do the one for depreciation for you. So other ones that you have that you want to add back or deduct, you can put them manually here and put the amounts. Click on add record and then you click on proceed. So here you have balancing adjustments. So this is where stuff like disposal of assets, if there's balancing allowance or balancing charge on it, it will appear here. So most times this only has to do with when you want to dispose an asset, but most times if you don't have anything to dispose, you don't have anything to do, you just click on proceed, and then you have it will give you an overview of your profit and your loss. It's just an overview of what the company is currently making, and then you click on proceed. And yep, we have the system automatically calculates capital allowance for you and stuff, and then you click on proceed. So if you have investment allowance, even though the new Finance Act has removed investment allowance, so there's nothing like investment allowance anymore from Finance Act of 2023, effective date of 1st of September 2023. So there's not like investment allowance again. But if you are, let's say you want to file for backlogs, I mean previous years that you feel like investment allowance is applicable on some assets, plant and equipment and stuff, you need to put it here and put the amount. But if you are filing for forward, I mean like for subsequent ones, future filings, investment allowance is no more applicable for types of capital allowance again. So then you click on proceed, and then we are done. So now you would have an overview of what you have put, I mean, is imputed so far when you click on your company's income tax form, right? To show you an overview of the company's stuff and just all you need to do, there are some key things you need to ensure you look out for, that it is balancing up with your tax computation and your AFS figure. That is, your revenue must be the same revenue in your AFS. Your profit before tax must be the same in your AFS. Your total assets must be the same, total liabilities, net assets. These are key things you need to look out for that ensure that they are balancing up Also, your accessible profits, ensure that it is the same with what you have in your computation. If it is not the same, that means there's a problem somewhere, right? Profit before tax too, you need to look out for that. Total equity, capital allowance too, you need to look out for it. Ensure that your capital allowance is the same with what you have on your capital allowance computation, and also your CIT rate, if any. Ensure that it aligns, is the same with what you have in your capital, in your computation, tax computation as well. And yeah, so that's basically how to file CIT returns. Any questions so far?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yes, sir. And my question is on non-current assets. When you said we are going to click on additional, what if we don't buy any assets during the year? Are we not going to input the one that we have on ground before?
Okay, so if you don't have any addition, you don't need to add any addition to your non-current assets. The only thing that you need to do is, you know that depreciation is yearly. So that current year depreciation, you need to share it across all the previous assets you already have on TaxPro that the system has already captured before. So let's say, for example, now, let me go back to that. So let's say, for example, now I don't have any addition. The company did not acquire any assets in the course of the year. So there's no addition for me. But mind you, whether the company acquire an asset or not, there will always be depreciation, because depreciation is based on the lifespan of the assets, right? So that depreciation value now, you need to add it again to the existing asset on TaxPro Max, so that you can get the current year depreciation figure. Do you understand?
Okay, is it that the amount for the current asset that we have, it will show on the portal like this, or
yes, because you know you would have done filing for previous year. So let's say you acquired assets in last year and you don't acquire this year. The asset that you acquired last year that you have already filed on TaxPro Max will already be in the system. So and automatically the system will carry it forward into the new filing.
All right, thank you. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah. And my number 2 is the amortization. You said when we are adjusting for profits, you said we don't need to put that, we have to remove amortization. What in a case of if I have rent prepaid, which
I did not say you should remove amortization. I did not say you should remove amortization. Because amortization too is also a desirable expenses, so you can add it back to adjust for your profit. That was what I said. I didn't say you should remove it.
Okay.
You know, amortization is a desirable expense. It's just like the way depreciation is. So you have to add it back as well. That's what I'm trying to say.
What in a case of prepaid rent? Like if I have rent that we paid for ahead for the month and I have to amortize for it on a monthly basis, am I still going to add it back?
So prepaid rent is not an asset. So I wouldn't know if I'm getting your question, sir, but prepaid rent is not a non-current asset. I'm talking about amortization of maybe intangibles like goodwill and any intangible assets that you have. Do you understand?
All right, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
All right, sir. That's all, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So that's I mean that's it about. Let me try to like reset all of these things because these are not the companies. So I want to try to like delete all of these things so that remove this. So any questions so far, everyone? So I mean that's all about CIT filing. And then if we want to look at the computation side of it. Let me see if I can. Sorry. Just a second. Can you see my screen now? Please, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen, sir.
Okay, so this is how I'm trying to like be confidential about client details. So this is how your CIT competition would look like. You start with your profit before tax from the AFS. You put the figure here, and then if there's any adjustment that you need to make regarding non-taxable income or desirable expenses, for example, depreciation, entertainment. I was talking about entertainment the other time. I was also talking about amortization. So you have to add them back, because all of these things, it is assumed that from the accounting side of it, they've deducted it already. So because we are now in the tax side, you need to add it back. And once you add it back, you get your assessable profit of what? 2,255,000. And then if you have any loss relief from previous years that you are yet to relieve from current year profits, you can bring it here and relieve it accordingly. And that's it. And then you come to your capital allowance side of it, where you, but here you would have done your capital allowance computation in another sheet to know the actual capital allowance for the year. So that your capital allowance for the year, you bring it here. And then if your capital allowance is more than the adjusted profit or assessable profit, you have to restrict it to 2/3 of the assessable profit. But if it is not, then you can easily utilize the whole capital allowance and then get your taxable profits. So, yeah. So for this company, for them to have 0 CIT payable, it means maybe they've not met the threshold of 25 million naira, right? That's why the CIT is 0 and everything is 0, right? So, yeah. So that's basically it. Mr. Taiba, I think I'm done from my end now. So I can now entertain questions if there's any.
Okay, sir, this is like a first of all, I want to ask for VAT now, can I claim VAT input on custom duties?
Yeah, so
like
for
the VAT. Can
yeah.
you hear me?
Yeah, so for custom duties, for all those VAT paid for the clearing points of whatever goods it is,
Yeah.
you can claim them as input VAT. So how will you claim this? You can just claim it manually, because most times it will not appear under your purchases side. So you can claim it manually on the line 80 of the VAT form. So once you claim it manually, just ensure that whatever it is you are claiming, you actually have the real documentation for it. Don't go and claim what you cannot defend, because by the time tax audit comes now and the FIRS is asking you for, okay, you are claiming this input VAT, do you have evidence to show that you actually added the transaction with the custom? So you need to ensure that you have relevant supporting documents for whatsoever it is you are claiming. Have I answered that question?
Yes, yes. But in instances where the total VAT charged by the custom, so I'm trying to claim for it, for the input VAT, like that you said I'm going to put it in that number 80, is higher than my total amount of VAT.
So you cannot claim more than what you cannot you cannot claim more than the output VAT, because I mean it actually does not make any sense in the real part.
Yeah.
So you can just let's say for example your output VAT is 200,000 and then the input VAT that you have is maybe 1 million naira. So you cannot say you want to claim 1 million naira to offset 200,000. It means you'll be having excess.
Right.
What you would do is just claim the part that can offset your output VAT. The remaining balance, you can be using it to claim subsequently. Do you understand?
Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Taiba, I'm done. I don't know if you can help us coordinate the question session.
Okay, so I have a question to ask.
Okay, please go ahead.
Okay, my name is Daniel. Thank you so much for the brief lecture, for the value added. I appreciate so much. I want to ask, sir, talking about withholding tax. I'm privileged to serve. I'm a core member, so serving in a company that has to do with waste management. Like we go around to pick waste from Lagos state government, where we are located to from hospitals and also domestics. So for some time now, they've not been remitting anything at all. So when I came, I tried to talk with the MD and we started to put in structures. Now, I discovered that the accountant that have been handling their audit, they have audited statement by an accountant that they audit and send to them. So I want to ask, we try to open a TaxPro platform, and you will sometimes I see few companies remitting this withholding tax. You will see withholding tax there by just one or two hospitals. So in a case whereby you have like you are covering a 150 hospitals, you collect waste from them and they pay at the end of the month. At what point can you ascertain or talk about withholding tax? Can we do it manually, like before we are servicing? At what point can we actually look at withholding tax?
I'm trying to like understand your question. At what point do you need to tell them about withholding tax, or what like I'm trying to?
Okay.
Is it that you have a lot of company?
Yes, we have like we now as a company, we are servicing hospitals. Like we go to hospital to pick their waste.
Something is sounding from the background.
Hello, sir.
Hello?
Can you hear me now?
There's a noise from your background.
Okay, sir, can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's better now.
Okay, like I'm saying that I'm privileged to serve in the company. We are at the company. We service hospitals.
Can you speak louder too? It's not clear.
Okay, I'm saying that we at the company, we service hospitals. Can you hear me now, sir?
Yes, it's clear now.
We go to hospitals to pick waste and then they pay at the end of the month. Now, when I check the TaxPro portal that one of the chartered accountant is handling for them, sometimes I will see just one or two companies that will remit withholding tax. And we are servicing, let's say, more than 50 or 100 hospitals. So those ones that are not remitting the withholding tax, what are the is there any repercussion for it, like anything that we need to do?
Okay, so if I'm getting your question right, you service a lot of hospitals, and they pay you guys at the end of the month, right? And they deduct
Yes, sir.
tax from your payment,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, I don't know if all the companies do, but I
I'm
sometimes
just,
check the
I'm
tax.
just assuming that, let's assume that all of
Okay,
them
okay.
deduct withholding tax from your payments.
Yes, sir. Yes, yes.
But then they don't remit that withholding tax on your behalf.
Yes.
Now, question now is how would you treat this matter, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if I'm to be in your shoes, what I would do is this. I would ensure that I have a good rapport with all of these hospitals to ensure that, okay, once they pay us and you realize that they've deducted some particular amount of withholding tax, quickly have a chat with them. You can send them a mail that, okay, oh, dear, so, trust this clinical finds you well. Based on the fact that you deducted withholding tax from our payments, kindly help us with the evidence of withholding tax remitted. Please see our TIN below. Attach your TIN of your company to the mail and tell them to send you the evidence of withholding tax that they make. If they did not send this, then you can begin to follow up. You can even call them to like ensure that, okay, whatever it is that they've deducted, they remit it on your behalf. And in your mail to them, you would have sent them your company's TIN to ensure that when they are remitting it, they use your company's TIN so that you can see the credits on your own portal. So I feel like if you apply this method to all the hospitals in question, they would, of course, remit it on your behalf. Because most times, most of these companies, it's not like they are not remitting it. Most of them are remitting it. But maybe they are not putting your tax, your TIN number on the remittance they are doing, and that's why you're not getting the credits. I'm just assuming. And if it is that they are not even remitting at all, so it is your duty as the accountant or as the tax consultant to always follow up with them to ensure that they remit. Have I answered your question?
Yeah, you answered my question, sir. So, but what if in a case whereby because we actually give them receipts at the end of the month, we kind of send them their bills and they pay. So what if we send the bill and it's actually what we send what they pay? Are we to
Your voice is already low again. I think.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me,
Yes.
sir?
Yes.
So I'm saying that at the end of the month, we do send them bills, like they are billed for the month and they pay. So in a situation whereby we send a bill and they pay what we sent as their bill, how are we now going to handle the withholding tax?
So that means what you send them as bill, that's what they paid you. They didn't deduct anything.
Yes, sir.
So if they don't deduct anything, they are the ones at fault then. So I feel like there's no issue with that. There's no issue with it except you want to remit it on your behalf yourself, which I feel like is not possible. So it is their own duty to deduct the withholding tax. And if they don't deduct it, maybe you need to let them know that they need to deduct or something. And if you don't want them to deduct, or if you want to overlook it, you can overlook it.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. I can see other hands in the chat box. Oluchuku, can you go ahead and answer your question? Oluchuku, it seems the person is not on the call. Mr. Matthias, can I ask your question, please?
Sorry, that was before, but I wanted to confirm the TaxPro Max. Is it that it's just a platform? That name of the platform, or one more explanation can you give to that?
So TaxPro Max is the platform that we use for filing and remittance of taxes due to the FIRS. Do you understand?
Yes, it's understood.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Matthias, can you ask your question, please?
Okay, thank you very much. And also, many thanks to Mr. Adebisi for the wonderful presentation. We really appreciate that. So my question is still on the withholding tax. I have several questions, so let me just start from one. Firstly, Adelia mentioned that there are some of our vendors whereby we upload their schedule on TaxPro Max, but discover that at the end of the day, it brings it that they don't match, their TIN number doesn't match with the company name. Also, although what I do most of the time, I screenshot as proof of evidence that, okay, this has been uploaded, and I just attach it as supporting document to what I am remitting. So, what do you advise I do when their TIN number doesn't match? And at the end of the day, most of the time when I write them emails, I put a call across, they'll provide me their CAC. And on that CAC, is the same TIN number they sent to me that I uploaded. It's the same TIN number that will be on the CAC. So what I just do, I just screenshot that page and attach a supporting document. So please, I'll seek your advice. What do you think I should be doing going forward? That is one. Then secondly, initially I used to upload schedule for single company. Like, let's say I have 10 withholding taxes I want to remit for some company. I used to do one. So I discussed with a friend and he said I could possibly upload like 5 of them at a go or 10 of them at a go. We have many vendors we deal with actually, like 50, 100 and so. So to be doing them one. This guy just advised that I can possibly upload everything. Like say 10 by badges. So that is what I started doing. But I got discovered that after doing those payments, whenever a vendor called me that, okay, please, can I share means of payment or evidence of payment? I usually find it difficult because it's on the schedule, and it's not only that company that I put on the schedule. I could put like, let's say 10 companies on one schedule. So how do I share evidence of payment? I know when I upload those 10 vendors, for instance, it only generates one remitter. I pay through remitter anyway. So it's only through that remitter code I use for the 10 of them. So what do you advise? How can I share payments, proof of payment for those remittance? So that is another one. Okay, let me see. Let me just have this for now. Hello, sir.
Hello?
Yes, I'm done for now. Yes, I have 2 questions.
Okay. So let me start with question number 1.
Okay.
So now for the question number 1, I'll be sharing my screen to show you what to do when you have issues relating to TIN not matching and stuff. Just a second. Please, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, I can see.
Okay. So there's a site known as TIN verification portal, which is this. And also we have a site known as the CAC search portal, which is this. So let's say, for example, I have a company that I don't even know their TIN and I want to know it. What will I do? I'll just come here. I'll just search for, let's say, for example, I want to know the TIN of which company can I use? Please, do you have any company I can use? Hello?
Yes, hello. Yes, I have one.
Okay, please.
So let's see a commodity.
CA.
PA commodity.
PA commodities.
No, T like tail. T. Yes.
Right?
Yes, correct, sir.
Commodity what?
Limited.
So I'll search. Are you sure this company is like this? Is it actually like this?
It's just like this. So this is one of the challenges, actually.
And are you sure the company is registered with the CAC?
It's registered. They have, because when they supply me tin, I try it on the portal. It's showing not much. I asked them to share me their CAC business certificate. They did, and it was on it. The same thing they supplied me.
Commodity producer.
Yes. That is it.
Let me type the full name and see.
That is the company.
Okay, coming. Fine. See commodity.
Yeah.
Are you talking to me?
No, sir, not you.
I don't know why it's not showing. But I can see another name on the company's portal. Are you sure that's not the name of the company? This F&F, something that I can see. This one.
I just shared the name in the chat box. If that one is causing us, we can try this one.
Okay, let's try this one.
Which one? Can you please spell it for me?
It's in the chat box, sir.
Okay. Chat box. Okay. So now, like you can see now, like this. I don't know this company before. I don't know if they have TIN, but I want to check if they have. Right? I can just search for it, and I'll copy their IC number. Once I copy it, then I will now go to this TIN verification portal. Yeah. So here you can verify TIN using the IC number of a company or their TIN or their phone number. So I want to use the IC number to verify. All I will do is to paste the IC number this way and then click on search. So it will give me the TIN of this company. So you can see that this company, it has a TIN, and then their tax office is in Abuja, MSTO, Wuse. So you can see. So, I mean, that's for you to know that there are some companies that if you don't have their TIN, you can actually get it by using TIN verification portal alongside with the CAC search portal. So, but for this your own company, I don't know why. So it's possible that maybe they have another company name, but I'm suspecting this F&F could be their real name. let me try and see that we even go through so that we don't waste time, because time is fast spent. I mean, it's still not working, but then you can always try these options to get TIN number and stuff. That's to answer your first question. And then the second question is how to file withholding tax returns. Are you to do it one by one for each company or do it as a group? If you notice on tax format, it's called group taxes. So it should be a group filing thing. Because if you have, let's say you have 100 beneficiaries now, you cannot be doing it one by one now. Do you want to sleep on tax formats? So the best thing is for you to do it as group. So if it now happens that they are now requesting for evidence of tax filed and remitted, send them the receipts, right, and send them the schedule. But when you want to send them the schedule, ensure that other client information are like you remove it. Like for example, the other client's name on the schedule, other client's TIN on the schedule, remove it. Just ensure that you're only leaving that particular company's name and TIN on the schedule with the amount for the full amount for all the companies on your list. Do you understand? So that has to be about that.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So this last one, please. So for companies, because we deal with some companies in this interior part of Nigeria, like this far north places, they claim they have companies that are registered, and but at the end of the day, when we check them, just like this one you check now, we discover that so the thing they're providing is not correct or something. So another thing I do is I use this generic thing. So I don't know if it's good or what if I'm doing is correct. The generic thing I ask my supervisor and he says, fine, I can just use it just to make sure the deduction is being paid. So is it actually advisable for me?
So I didn't get that, sir. Can you please come again, please? I'm sorry.
Okay, I mean for companies that their team are not correct or they don't have team number, can I use generic team for their withholding payment?
Well, how will you get the generic thing?
Okay, there's a circular one of my friends shared with me from FIRS as a generic thing. So that was where I got the generic thing from. There's a circular from FIRS. I don't know if that is in place. That's why I'm asking if I can continue with that or not. So
Well,
maybe I'll get the circular here.
I'm a bit indifferent about this generic thing. I don't know if
Okay.
I don't know if your clients will be able to like get the credit applicable to them using it. So what I would advise is that try to like reach out to your clients. Maybe they should go and do their tax registration properly for them to have a team. They can always apply to the FIRS to get their team. So that's not an issue.
Or should in case they are not responding or giving a positive feedback, what do you advise? Because I've tried reaching out.
It's not possible that you go to the FIRS and they will not respond on your tax matters. It's not possible.
No, okay. Maybe I didn't get you clearly. Is it that I should go to FIRS?
Yes, you go to FIRS office, tell them you want to know the thing of this particular company. They will give it to you immediately. It's only if the company has registered. It's only if the company has registered that they will be saying you have to register the company.
Sorry to say this, so I don't know if I have some FIRS people in the house here, but I don't know if what I'm going to say is going to sound insulting.
Like, most of them are have you gone to their office?
I've gone there several times in Abuja. Yes. I've taken the list of those vendors, of those companies. I've gone there. They kept promising me, come back also, they come back also. They at the end of the day, they didn't do anything. They'll say, pass it to so person, so person. The dates, they've not responded to.
Hello. Hello, I think, can I come in here?
Okay,
yes,
sir.
you can. Please.
Yeah, I think this is something that to get a team for a company is not something that should take too long. And then we should understand that sometimes those companies you want to generate team for, they don't even want the appropriate tax. Some companies don't even want to register for tax
Thank
appropriately.
you.
That's why we
Thank
tell
you,
them to.
sir. Yes.
That's why when you tell them to give you your TIN, they will be going back and forth. So if they have not registered for TIN, if you go, even though you go to FRS don't have their record
That's
because
okay.
I've not registered and done the tax program. Because most times you see those TIN numbers on CAC certificates that are domiciled in stamp duty, they have not moved to TPS in the FRS. So if you search for them, you don't see them until the TIN number is moved from stamp duty to TPS. That's where you have done your tax pro marks and the rest. So if the thing is still at stamp duty, you may likely search and you not see it. They won't tell you to go and register for tax pro marks. So at that point, most companies don't even want to go and register for tax pro marks because they feel in their mind that once you register, will start paying tax. So this issue, on the other hand, will be also a problem from the company that your vendors or your suppliers, as the case may be. So you don't need to stress yourself. You disclose to them. Just let them know that they are not providing this thing and you are deducting their withholding tax. That means they will not get credit for it. If they want to get credit for it, they should go and process their thing and send to you. So if they end up not processing the thing and sending to you, then you can just be filing and dashing FRS the money, because even if you decide to get the thing and file it to their own advantage, it's not even to your own advantage.
Yes, that's true.
So if they refuse to provide it, it's not something you should stress yourself and start jumping up and down, or just file it to the FRS. Let the FRS just take the money without giving them the credit, because they have failed to present your team for you. You have tried your best to get their team, but then you can't get it without them first filing to the FRS. Because if you file, even if you get the team on their CAC certificate, you see that the thing is not registered for tax pro marks, and if you try to search it, you see that. So it's most times the problem from the company, those your suppliers or vendors, as the case may be. There are some of them are scared to register for tax because one consultant somewhere, or your friend or somebody somewhere have told them that once you have registered for tax, you start paying tax immediately. They don't know about the incentives and the rest. So most of them don't get tax consultants to tell them these things. So if you ask me from my own end, I would advise that you don't need to stress yourself. You have tried to get your thing. This withholding tax you are filing to their own advantage is supposed to appear as credit in their tax program that will offset their company income tax. But since they are failing to meet up to the obligation of giving you their thing, you can just be filing it like that and dashing FRS money. The credit will not go to anybody.
Yeah, I feel like that's the best way to actually treat this issue. Let them go and regularize their tax registration with the tax office. So if they register properly, they will get their time.
And then again, this is a thing like if you too you refuse to file because they refuse to give you that thing, you'll be liable. So you just need to be filing so that FRS.
That's FRS the money. Hello.
All right.
Hello, sir.
Any other question?
Yeah, I can see Mrs. Choma Juliet, your hand is up. Do you have a question, ma? Before we close for today.
Good evening, everyone. I don't have a question. I just want to add to I just want to suggest something to Mr. Matthias.
Please suggest.
Yes. I just want to I want to drop my opinion on this generating thing for clients. I know in the State Internal Revenue Service, once you register businesses for clients, they are mandated to get TIN for them to be able to open a bank account. So I want to know if Mr. Matthias, if the company pay into the company's account number or into an individual account number. Because if the company pays into the client's account number, it means they have a TIN. Because you cannot open a corporate account without TIN in bank now. I don't know when they open theirs, but currently in the bank, you cannot open a corporate account without your TIN number.
Okay, thank you very much.
Let me further comment. Okay, sorry, sir. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. What I was going to say is we actually pay into their corporate account, not individual account for transactions, and we discovered that even after asking them for their TIN number, they still supply us the CAC certificate, which carries their TIN number. I think Mr. Temba, sorry, I'm not calling the name very well, said something about that they might register it, but it hasn't been moved to another platform. I can't remember that. So I don't know if that's the issue. Anyway, so they are registered companies.
That's the issue. It's possible for FIRS. It's possible that you may have a TIN. You can even use the TIN or your certificate, your CAC certificate. Even use the TIN to open a corporate bank account, but then you have not done tax promise with the TIN. It's just recently, I think, First Bank and Access Bank are asking people to go and do their tax promise so that they'll be able to search their TIN and see it. But I think Zenith Bank is still receiving. Some other banks are still receiving the TIN or CAC certificate. But prominent of them is First Bank and Access Bank are now mandating business company, limited liability company owners to go and activate their TIN first before they can open a corporate bank account.
Okay.
But then there's a possibility. But then there's a possibility that you can open a corporate bank account without having TaxPro Max.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the issue. Okay. Thank you very much, everybody, for this wonderful session this evening. Thank you very much, Mr. Adedayo Adebisi, my very good friend and colleague. We have been, this is the fourth cohort. We have been here, cohort 1 to cohort 4, and we are always giving value. And I believe everyone on this call that was actually paying attention was able to take home 1 or 2 points that they can implement, even as accountant or even as consultants, as the case may be. So I'm very excited that we're able to join in on this session. Yesterday was a great one. Today is a great one. Please, if you have further questions, you can still drop it on the group. We'll take some time to answer you. So that you get it. For the recording will be shared by tomorrow, before close of business tomorrow. We're rendering them and packing them together with all the materials that you need for tax purposes. So I believe at this point there's no any other questions. I want us to appreciate Mr. Adedayo Adebisi before we leave. When we are leaving, you just tell him thank you, then log out. But then before then, I want us to also share our feedback on the group. Please, let's share our feedback so that feedback are very important to us because they help us to be able to know that, okay, we are doing well or we need to adjust 1 or 2 things and all. So thank you very much, everybody, for this wonderful session this evening. And have a very good evening. You can just tell Mr. Adedayo, thank you, then log out.
Thank you, Mr. Teiva.
Yeah, go to the group, share your feedback, to us so that we'll know that, okay, we have actually done a great job, but we'll know where to improve. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.